because what happens is this, right? Today of all days, my situation happened where I was like, pretty much. I was taking like yesterday. I was talking to everybody right about the situation, about what's going on, and I was saying about like how I need to get this car looked at and car repaired. And so what ended up happening was that I took the car to the shop. Well, and we took the car to the shop, and the shop was closed. So then we went to go and bring our friends from the airport, and so it's an airport gig real quick. And we brought them from the airport, and we had to go to the location. And so the location ended up becoming like one of those things where kind of went out and then came back, and then so we parked in front of their house to drop them off, to make sure they got in safely and everything was good. And we head nod, plan to go to the beach today. This is going to be a beach day. Beach day. We're going to go to the beach on 7-Eleven day. Kids are looking forward to it. I was looking forward. Today's my day off. And so I got to get ready to go back to work later. And so what ended up happening is that the car finally broke down. So it broke down. It didn't want to turn over. As a matter of fact, I'll show you. This is what it sounds like, right? Here it is. It doesn't want to turn over because it has gas in it. We put gas in it. My friend of mine, he took me to the gas station. We put 2 gallons of gas in this car. I thought maybe it's the oil thing. Nope, she doesn't want to turn over. She is not turning over. She's not having a situation. So I'm thinking, was it a check engine light that I did? Was it getting rid of that? No, I don't really know. I just don't know the situation and what to do at this point. So I'm just like sitting in the car. So what happens? My friend of mine, he decided we're going to tow the car to a tow shop. Today being Thursday, tomorrow being Friday. Friday is the day before Saturday, and I have a place I got to be on Saturday night. And so as it looks, my car is not, the fuel is not taking. So I'm thinking it's the water pump, fuel pump. So I fixed the water pump last year. We fixed the water pump twice last year, in the beginning of the year and the end. And so now we're going to go ahead and see if we can fix it. This is going to be the fuel pump this time. So the fuel pump itself is what we're going to fix. So I'm going to go ahead and do some sculpting for you. And let me see, I'm going to have to see if I can position this in such a way that it doesn't doesn't so you can see you better. I don't know, it's just like, okay, this is good. What happens is this, right? The scenario is like, you never know when your car is going to break down or when your car is going to have a situation. And so today is the day when the car decides to have a situation. And even I try to crank it, it's not going to crank. I'm trying again because I just want to try it. And she's not starting. So this is me trying to start the car. The car's not working. And so my friend, we decided what we're going to do is I'm going to take this car and tow it to a mechanic that's nearby and look to see how we're going to get the fuel pump fixed. Because I'm thinking it's a fuel pump not giving fuel to the engine's not turning over. All the components work. It's weird that today was one of the days where I actually had a situation where we tried the air conditioning, and the air conditioning worked lovely, my friends. It worked lovely. And so because it worked lovely, we're able to actually just go ahead and do something with that. And so I'm going to just go ahead and chat and sculpt as we're doing this, because I'm waiting for the tow truck to come in, but I just wanted to definitely be faithful and show what is going on today. So let's say today's 7-Eleven day. If you guys haven't gone out already, today is free Slushie day. You might have run out already, because once the kids realize this, every year they look forward to it. My kids are looking forward to it, and my kids are at home right now. And so my wife, she's here with me right here at our friend's house, and we're in the process of just trying to, just solve the problem, So I love my car, I do, and I was going to do a roadie order today, and I didn't do that, and I was going to get it to the inspection today, and didn't get that done either because the inspection was closed. And then so we went and picked up our friend Brum from the airport, went to drop off their kids. Then after that, we went to drop them at the house, turn off the car for 1 second, try to start the car again. The car will not start. So because the car wouldn't start, we were in a situation where now the car is. We had to push it from the front of the hydrant to where it's like on a nice parking spot, and that's where we're at. So you guys ever been in a situation before? Because I've been in this situation before, but never like this. Usually it's a matter of trying to figure out how to get home. Last time we were 20 miles out. We went to the planting fields, right? There's a place called the planting fields here. It's over in Oyster Bay. And Oyster Bay, it's a nice area called the planting fields. And what it is like an arboretum. It's a place where it's a tree museum. An arboretum is a tree museum. So you have a place where you have all different species of trees. It's really cool. They have a nice big mansion, and it's a great place. If you want to have a wedding, that's a great place, but you got to rent it and stuff. It's like a state park, So anyway, long story short, we were driving home and the car broke down in terms of it didn't want to start. We had to put motor oil in it. I put motor oil in this car, and it didn't start. We also went to we got gas for the car too, 2 gallons of gas, and it still didn't start. And I thought that would be an easy fix. I guess it wasn't an easy fix. This was actually a real deal problem with the car. That's not going to be just me adding something to it. It might actually look into getting the fuel pump replaced. And the fuel pump replaced could be anywhere from little bit of money to a whole lot of money. And that's the thing, because getting to the fuel pump is underneath. It's in the back of the car. If you look at the car, right? The back of the car, underneath here, underneath this seat, underneath this floor, right, is where they have the fuel pump situation, right? And the fuel pump situation is where it's like, you have to repeat. That's what gives the fuel line to the car, which gives it to the engine, which gives the engine. And also, we've been having trouble with our ignition switch. Like, for example, let me show you real quick. You see this here, right? This is my my engine light, right? My engine. So my engine situation is this. You have that, right? So when I turn the car on, right? This is me turn the car on, right? This is turn the car on. See, it's all functioning there, right there. Right? See, it was kind of stuck at that level. We actually put 2 more gallons of gas in the car, and so whatever gas gallon we had there, it was there. So we had no check. We had the oil light, which is like, when you do that. But here you go. I'm gonna start the car up again and try and start it. And here's what happens, right? Here you go. Here's the sound. It sounded like it wanted to start, but she's not starting. So let's give it one more shot. Yeah, she wants to start. She's blocked or something. I don't know what it is. But there, as you can see, there's no check engine light on, right? Clear that code. As a matter of fact, let's do one more thing. Let's go and show you the check engine code. Let me do that, because you want to know why? Because it's like people don't believe me. So here we go. This is the code here. This is the code reader, right? It's a code reader for the car, right? And so the code reader for the car is here. Gonna plug it into the ODB reader right there. ODB reader. Right. Gonna turn the car on. Turn it right here. Right, so here's all the stuff on the car. The car is on, right? Here's this, and it's going to read it with the ODB reader. So I should take that off, but I just leave it on. So here it goes. The OBD reader is reading the car, and this is what the check engine light says. It's going to read. It's going to read. No codes. You see that? It's still blinking. The different sensors, the oxygen, onboard oxygen sensor, right? And then you got the C. But for the most part, though, it's not saying. There's no codes. Now, it's still like indicate like it's like something severe, but let's go ahead and search through the situation. It's reading through. There is, I don't know. So this is my car. This is my car situation right here, right? There's no check engine light, right? And so I don't know. I mean, the car worked fine. We did. This is the mileage we did. This is our miles. This is how much we. Again, nothing on the code. See, the code is right here. The code is. See? 0 codes. 0 detectable codes. Right? So there's nothing there. So here you have this situation here. This is the miles. This is the mile marker. It's 111.7. Right? So 111. Well, last time I put gas in the car, it was 44 miles. So the math, the numbers were. These were the numbers, because I always keep a record of the numbers of gas I put, and also the miles. So you have between that mile and this mile. So you have this one here. So you got the 72.4 and 27.5. You're looking at 44.9 miles, right? It's 44.9 miles is there, right? So when you add that together, 74, and then you're looking at 114. I did about 40 something extra miles. There were 40 miles since last time we filled up, right? Well, I put $10 in it. So that's 44 miles. So I was thinking it was a gas thing, when in fact it's not really a gas thing. It was actually it's another thing. It's a fuel intake thing. So here's that. I'm gonna try and crank the engine one more time and see if we can do it. Please let it start. Please let it start. You heard that? It doesn't want to start. She's so like close. It's just, here you go. Ready? Nah, she ain't starting. She ain't starting. I keep trying and she ain't working. So all right. So I have to kind of give up, right? Because there comes a point in your life where you have to say, I'm done. I'm done trying, and I have to give up. Because what the situation is this, right? I have an art event, right, this Saturday, and I've been looking forward to it for many weeks. And now I have to pretty much take the bus and train. Last time I took the bus and train, it was crazy. But this time here, I'm going to see if I can do this again. My scenario, my situation is that I'm just like, I don't know what to even to do. I don't know what kind of even creature to make. My brain is so filled up with ideas. I got to get ready to go to work soon. And so definitely, guys, if you want to, just really, anything can help, any conversation, please talk to me in the chat. What you guys ever been through a situation like this, right? See, the car won't start. And so because the car won't start, I can't go anywhere. So my friend of mine, he's going to take the car. We're going to take the car and go to, we're going to take it to a tow truck. So we're waiting for the tow truck now to come pick up the car. So my wife is inside, and I guess friends might drop us home tonight, and that'd be really appreciative of that. So it's like, that's something there, and that's something there. So I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just kind of sad about that because you don't like know what's gonna happen. You kind of like, you go through a situation and you're just, hoping to do something else. I was hoping to go to the beach today. I was hoping to take the kids out in 7-Eleven day. And, it just doesn't happen. And tomorrow's payday, so a lot of our bills are gonna be paid tomorrow, which is great. But now we have a new situation, which is this car. So I don't know. It's one of those things. We trust God and we trust the Lord. He's gonna provide for us and make it happen. But it's just one of those things where I'm upset. I'm sad about that this doesn't happen like according to plan, because I was so hoping to go to the beach today. All right, so maybe we might go to the beach tomorrow. I guess, I don't know. It depends if we get the car working, right? So that's kind of where we're at with that. So anyway, so that's me. Well, the new job's been really interesting. I want to share that with you. I've been kind of away lately, and it's been like working at the airport. It's been a really cool and interesting job. So I get a chance. I have to go through checkpoint, like I talked about before. Go through checkpoint, and having to deal with like the whole thing with TSA, which is not a problem. Once you figure out what not to bring, you could actually sail through TSA. But the first day is always nerve-wracking, and so that's just where I'm at right now. Thank God for everything that's happened, because this is like a test, again, to prove your faith and to prove what you believe. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the thing there. I don't know what to make. Should I make a whale? I think I'll make a whale. I'll make a whale. I haven't made a whale ever, so I can make either like a mermaid or a whale. So I'm just gonna make a whale because it's kind of like dealing with the issues, So here it is. I'm gonna make a nice little whale. Anybody have any type of whale in particular? Like, I'm probably gonna make a dolphin or an orca or something, because I tend to make a lot of dolphins and orcas. But yeah, just kind of the scenario there. I might just, I don't, might make a whale, might make a mermaid. We'll make a mermaid, unless you make a mermaid, why not make a mermaid or merman? I don't know. Just, I've been working on another sculpture for another friend of mine, and so I was blessed to be able to finish one of the big ones, and the big sculptures are always take a lot of energy too. Sorry, it's been a long day, and so it takes a lot of energy to do it. And so what happens is, like, as I'm just kind of like in the process of just making this here, it's one of those things where, I'm just happy that, again, that we didn't have a breakdown on the highway, that the car didn't break down on the highway, the car didn't break down, at the airport, because the airport's just madness, And I was determined in my mind. I wanted to do something different. I definitely wanted to make sure I'm not like this poor again, in terms of like not having enough money or scenario or something. I mean, I've done everything I possibly can. I make art and I try and get in galleries, and I have different galleries that we're in. And then, it's like we had all that money we made from just at one of our teaching sessions. We had to go right into a bill with it, And it's just one of those things where it's like, I remember when, like, before all this started, like before we had the whole like pandemic and stuff, and how it was like I was just working my Home Depot job, or my hardware job, and as I was working there, it was like that was like the best. That was back in 2016 to 2020. I was working there, 2022, and what happened was, like, as I was working there, I made so much money. It was so, like, not so much money as like a lot of money, but enough money to not have to deal with stuff, And then it was like, God in His ways, He started teaching me this new way of making art and doing stuff, people can actually see me do. And it started becoming like such a really wonderful thing, because it's like, there you go, you're making an art piece, making a narwhal, making an art piece, and that people can actually see you making it. And as they see it, it's like, it's amazing that they can actually see you do this. And they're just like, what in the world? How did you manage to do this? How did you manage to learn how to do this? That was one of those things. But before that, I was just working a regular job. It's just one of those things, you're never really quite sure where you're going to be or how things are going to lead, But I thank God, because, God is just the one who kind of organizes these things. He organizes, benefits, so you could trust in Him. So you get to the habit of just trusting God through every situation. So, I thank God for my friends. They really were there to help me out. And, I was hoping to go to the beach today and hoping to be there with the kids and just have a really nice day. But what ended up happening is, this happened. Life happens when you're planning for something else, Anybody knows if a narwhal has a back plate? I could look it up, but I'm not really sure. Do they have a back dorsal fin? I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see. So anyway, so what happens is, like, as I'm just kind of sitting here working on this narwhal, it's like, I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, imagine like, you want to do something and you're planning to do something and you're hoping to do something, and then life just kind of takes you on a different way. God wants you definitely to be somewhere else. So that way, you're not just gonna be, where you think you're gonna be. You're gonna do something that He wants you to do. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just trying to figure out what's the best thing to do and how to do it. And one of the things I just like about like how it works, like the things that happened back in 2016 and 2020, it's like that's something that happened. It kind of brings you to this location here, and I was really working, trying to solve these problems for my family, and sometimes you just need help. You need help from your friends, and that's it. You just need help from your friends to help you through the situation, and I'm really grateful for them that they did that, because it's like that's something there that as I'm doing this here, I'm just thinking about like it just these friends of ours have been really good. They helped us get to this place called Camp Constitution, and we went there, and they helped us to get there. And the first time we were going there, our car broke down. We had to get like our transmission replaced. Same car, okay, same car. Had to get the transmission first replaced. We replaced the transmission, and she decided to give us some new stresses. And then after that, we had to get the transmission like rebuilt. And ever since we rebuilt the transmission, it's been really good. I don't even know what it is. I mean, today I tried for the air conditioning. The air conditioning, it was doing its thing, and we actually started getting some cold air in this car, and it was like so wonderful. And then all of a sudden, it's like the car starts to mess up. Do you guys know, anybody in the chat? Can you tell me if a narwhal has a dorsal fin? Is it a dorsal fin like this? I'm not sure. Does it have a dorsal fin? No, right? Narwhals don't have dorsal fins. I know certain ones, like belugas, don't have a dorsal fin. Certain whales, certain creatures do. But let me know in the chat. Please definitely tell me in the chat right there to kind of say it does or doesn't. You can check for me. I really appreciate that, because I'm trying to do this without losing the beat. I mean, I could just look it up on my other phone, obviously, but I mean, this is the only phone that has a signal on it. I don't know. So now we're waiting for the tow truck. I remember last time there was a tow truck, right? We had a situation happen with a planting field. I was telling you about that, and it broke down. And it broke down. The car broke down. It's like it was missing oil or something. It just. I mean, she powered on through. She was able to get through. And I was able to get the car going before. I'm gonna put a dorsal fin anyway. Back dorsal. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, if you guys tell me I can't remember if there's a dorsal fin. So I'm just gonna put a dorsal fin there in the back. Okay. So we're gonna go fill it up now. So yeah. So this is the scenario there of this narwhal. What happened was the train of thought. They had to rebuild the transmission, and then they had to replace it, and they rebuilt it. Right. So they replaced it, and they put a new one in there. And and the car, the last time it broke down, it had oil. I just needed some oil, and we were able to get from the planting fields all the way back home. And that's about a 20-mile trip, yo. This here, we're about 6 miles out from home. We're 6 miles from home. I was gonna do a roadie today. I came so close to doing a roadie, And like if I just twist the tail sideways a little bit, like this, all of a sudden becomes like a sailfish. If I put it like this, it's a narwhal. That's it. I gotta look for the narwhal things. I look at my old phone and see if I can actually find out exactly if a narwhal has a thing. If you guys are gonna tell me, I have to look for it myself. I want to say thank you so much for that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check it. Let me just check put my hotspot on. Let's see my hotspot on. Can you guys still see me? Got my hotspot, mobile spot. There it goes. Okay, I'm gonna switch it back. Okay, so I'm gonna see if my hotspot's on and see if I can get it connected, so I can actually check on my old phone about if a narwhal has a fin. If you guys would just tell me, that'd been great, But hey, I feel like we've been through so much for you guys not to even talk to me like this. I mean, really, there's so many of you. Okay, so what happens is a narwhal. Okay, narwhal, which is narwhal. Okay, now no internet yet. Okay, so I gotta connect to internet. Do I have internet connection? Wi-Fi. Okay, yeah. So here I'm going to. So this is. I'm trying to see if the narwhal has a thing. Okay, let's get to my connection. Okay, let's see there, and it's looking for a narwhal. Okay, narwhals. See. I'm good. I knew it. See. Okay, here's the narwhal. Here's the narwhal pictures, right? Look at this. Oh, come on. All right, here's the narwhal pictures. All right, there's the pod of narwhals, right? If you guys can see this, I know you guys can see it. Here's the pod of narwhals, right? It's like that. And then the pod, they don't look like they have no back thing. You see that? Goodness. They don't look like they have a back thing. Deepest dive of a narwhal. You're looking at 1,800 meters. That's 5,905 feet. Ooh, that's deep. That's some water. Okay, now let's see if I can find a picture. Come on, picture. Okay, images. If I can find the images, I could. Because the thing is, I have a lot of it inside of my head, right? So yeah, so it doesn't have a back fin, and his head's kind of bulgy, and his nose is kind of like bulgy. Okay, look, yeah, see right there. I don't know if you can see it. See right there, humans, fellow humans. He's got no back tail fin thing, right? There's no back tail fin thing. So there you have it, folks. Okay, so get rid of this thing here. I'm gonna break your tailbone right there. That's right, you're gonna have no tailbone. My friends, I'm telling you, man, today's like slushy day. It's slushy day, free slushy day at 7-Eleven. You know what that means? That means you can go to 7-Eleven and be like, is today slushy day? And they're gonna be like, yes, today's slushy day. And they're gonna be like, you know what? Our machine's broken. That's what they're gonna tell you, because that's what they tell everybody. But if you believe that, you go no further, and when you go no further, you get nothing. And so that's kind of the situation there. So yeah, so sometimes you have to kind of fix it yourself and go over there and find out what's wrong with the slushy machine. But in a situation like today, for example, there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna try cranking the car again. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it cranks again. Let me try it again. Let's see. Watch. Here's me trying to crank the car. And this is the car. This is me. This is my engine things. This is my engine lights. Over there. This is me trying to start the car again. One more time. Watch this. Ready? Oh, goodness. All right. Oh, goodness. This toothbrush fell on me. Ready? Try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. If she only started. If she only would start. See? You can hear it, right? Give it some gas. You know what you want to do? You don't want to break the key in the car too. That's the only thing you want to do. You want to break it because that's something there with the ignition switch. This is the thing here. This is the right little contraption here is what I use to hold off my my phone when I'm doing like art. And so, ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, baby. See? She won't start. Okay, so what happens is, like, I've tried this, and I keep trying this, but I'm going to go back to making my narwhal. And so this is a scenario, okay? I don't like being without a car. I mean, I don't know how people, like, can actually just... I mean, I function with a bicycle, like, for forever. But to be without a car, I mean, really? We'll probably want to... This right here, my friend, is an art piece that was made for me, right? If you guys remember when I was at Latimer House, this here is a piece, right, that was made for me by another artist. He does duct tape, right? And so he's like, can I make something for you? And he decided to make this duct tape, this masking tape dragon for me. And his name is, he called it Dracus Incarnate, is what he called that. But it's really cool. I met this guy on Instagram. He's on Instagram. He's a really cool guy, really cool guy. So he made this dragon for me. And see, not too many people actually make art for me using the same medium that I make. So I was impressed. So I gave one of my dragons, one of my Chinese dragons. And it was one of my lung dragons, and it was beautiful and wonderful. And I've been working on it for some time. That was my second dragon I ever made like that with no wings, wingless dragon. You know, the ones that like have like the antlers and stuff. Well, I made that and I gave it to him. And then so here am I gonna go ahead and just kind of work on this narwhal and tell you more about my day, how my car doesn't want to start. But you guys are here to see me do art, so I'm just gonna make the art. Right? And so here it is, me forming this here. I'm telling you, one day it's gonna be competitions, like tons of competition where people are gonna be like making masking tape artwork and designing these things, and then having like things where they give one to the queen or give one to the king or whatever, king of a town, and they're gonna be like, wow, it's all elaborate and stuff like that. And just remember where you learned this from. Okay, we've seen me do this, and you're gonna be like, Greg, thank you so much for like showing me how to make masking tape artwork. By the way, if you like me so much, definitely send a super chat. I mean, I'm in a situation with my car right now. If you guys can do that, that'd be great. If you can't, then I understand that you appreciate the free watching a brother struggle. I understand. For the most part, there's that. And the other things too. If you want to follow me on Patreon, you can do that as well. This here, I'm gonna keep making this cool narwhal, and see how it is like, this narwhal. I'm not gonna stick myself in the eye with it. No, I'm not. Even though it's all pokey. Oh, I stuck myself in the eye with it. No, it's pretty much. You knew I was gonna do that. Come on, you knew I was gonna do that. You knew I was gonna do that. Arr! Anyway, so that's kind of the scenario there, my friends. I'm overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed. I'm about to get back and go back to work. I'm having a hard time with the whole like everything regarding our politics. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't lose the people watching me, but I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to talk about that, my car situation. So, okay, so I've done repairs on this car, and I've learned a lot in the process. I want to thank God for YouTube. YouTube has been like a real good instructor of like fixing your car. Ow, my stomach. Um, Fixing your car, if you can fix your own cars, like fixing your own bikes, like fixing your own face, I guess, or fixing your own like things yourself, and do-it-yourself kind of person. That's why I worked at the hardware store I did, because I like the whole do-it-yourself stuff. I would have worked at Michael's. I honestly would have worked at Michael's, because Michael's is a do-it-yourself place, and I love the energy of people who want to do stuff themselves and try to fix the problems. I don't like it necessarily when you have to give yourself over to a mechanic. I feel sad about that, because the mechanic at that point, they have power over you. And there's certain things you just can't do. I mean, there's certain things I just cannot repair, okay? Certain things I just can't do. But then there's other things that we can do, and as long as you can do it, as long as you give it a try, you can do a lot of stuff. But for the most part, though, I mean, if you don't even try, and I want to try, I really do, but it's like, the thing is, like, I mean, I don't know what to do. Honestly, I don't know what to do. And I rarely get to a situation where I don't ever know what to do. Not that I'm always knowing everything, but just I usually try and find another way. And in this situation, I'm just kind of stuck. I'm really stuck. I gotta leave my car. I gotta get a ride home. I gotta go home and then take my bike and then all these things. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, you don't want to go this way. You don't want to have to just give up. Because, I mean, I'm not the give-up kind of person, you know what I mean? I'm the kind of person trying to figure out a way how to do this and make it all work out, and solve this problem and do this problem and solve this one and solve that one, you know? I think the reason why they don't have a dorsal is because they have to be able to pass through the ice, and their nose... Actually, this is a tooth. They say this is a tooth that comes out of their face. So, that don't happen if you don't brush your teeth, see? See? Tell the kids that. Say, kids, if you don't brush your teeth, you're going to have your tooth come out your face, Anyway, so that's what happens. But I think it's kind of meant that way. They have like 2 holes in their face. There's these narwhals, how they work. So anyway, so that's what happens there. So anyway, so I'm just like, I was so open to go to the beach today. I was so open to put my foot in some of the cool water. So open just to relax, and just have a good night. I was not intending to have my car fixed today. I was not intending for the car having to be repaired or be in the shop. I was fully intending to go to, be with my friends this weekend and do some like cool art. But life is just weird like that. So if this tow truck ever does come, which it should come at some point, it'll be like gonna have to tow this car to the mechanics, and the mechanics are gonna have to take a look at all this stuff. And definitely, guys, please follow me on Patreon too. I'm trying to get my Patreon channel going, because this wonderful thing about when you get a super chat, it helps you a lot. When you go to Patreon, it's like a super chat, and you get a chance to really show behind the scenes stuff, a lot of your works, and people get a chance to really enjoy the things that you do. And I like this. If you guys come to my channel, I appreciate that. You guys come and see what I do. And please, if you could everybody who's here, just kind of give a thumbs up, and also follow my channel. I have every Thursday I try to put a new video out. I try to do it 3 times a week. I do like a couple of shorts, a couple of ones. I have Deli with me here. Here's Deli. And Deli, and I gave him the book bag from the Penguin. So this is the Penguin book bag. It's on the 3rd day. So this is Deli, and he's a Deli. He'd be like, like just that. He's like, this is Deli. Like, get that bread. All right, so Deli, get that bread. I'm gonna put him right here. I'm gonna put him so you can see him. I guess where can I put him? I guess I put him right here on my left. Like that. So he's right there, like a little lizard. He has like his cool book bag. He stole a book bag from the Penguin. So the Penguin had the book bag. So yeah, and then this so pretty much. So I'm just making this narwhal. And so definitely my Patreon, I'm trying to get my Patreon functional, because if I get Patreon functional while I'm monetized on YouTube, that'll help, But let me see something of value. Okay, what I learned was this, right? I learned that you can actually clear the code on your car. But I'm not sure if that clearing the code, I'm gonna try it again. Let's try it again. Let's see if the car works. Okay, let's give it a shot. Give it a shot. She is not starting. Okay, so she is not starting. It's not working out. She wants to turn over, but she's not. It's all the functions are there. There's nothing in my power at this point that I can do to actually make this car function. And that's the sad part. That's a hard thing to do, man. To be able to just actually give up. I don't know if anybody likes giving up. There's some people who do, but I'm not the person who wants to give up and say I can't do it. because it's like, when you say that, it's like you're at the mercy of everything else. I mean, and I can't. Time I was fixing the water pump, right? I was doing. If you see the videos from before fixing the water pump, I spent 12 hours on that thing. I gave 12 hours of my life. I was in the dark working on fixing this water pump, and I had a hard time with just turning a couple bolts. It was hard. It was rough. It was tough. And then it was like finally I got it to work, and I got my car functional, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then when it happened, it worked. It worked, and it's been working since last year. I got the water pump to work, and that was such a major accomplishment for me. That was major because that was a big piece of surgery for this car. That's like fixing that's a very key component. That's like the pump of the heart of your car. The water pump don't go, the engine don't get cool, the engine gets overheat, you get stalled in the road, and all the smoke comes out because your car's like it's boiling. Now I'm in a situation now where this is a thing where I'm not 100% sure which one is the broken one, which one is the one that's messed up, which one is the one that's kind of holding me back. So it's like, kind of like the thing. It's like I've been listening to these different things, different speakers talk about different things, and I don't know, man. It's like, I feel I don't like the whole being helpless. I like being able to take my hand and solve the problem. Put my hand in the bowl and find out what's missing, and add the correct ingredients. And I'm not sure if it's a practice. I think it's like just want to set things in order. I don't believe in the whole astrology thing. I don't do that. I don't believe in that. But people talk about that a lot. They say, well, what's your this and what's your that? And I don't believe, but it's like, I'm the kind of person try to be a balanced person a lot, because it's like, so people talk about stuff, and I'm just like, I don't believe that, but there is something to it. I don't know. Maybe there is something about the day you're born and the week and the months and all that. I don't want to give any credence to it, because the Bible said we shouldn't really look to the stars for guidance. We look to the one who makes the stars, and the one who makes the stars is the Most High. So with that, it's like, you have all these things, and look to God for your direction, because otherwise you're stuck in a situation where it's down to fate. Your fate was what put you in this situation. So you're stuck because the day you're born, the day you decided that your mom pushes you out is the day that you're stuck forever to be in. Like you're in a situation, so you can't be more than that. You kind of a penchant. You kind of, generally speaking, gonna be that person at what time of the year you're born. I mean, that kind of works, I guess. Somebody said that works if you're a hockey player, if you're born in January, as opposed to if you're born in later in the year. You have an advantage because you have a whole much more time in life when you're going, as opposed to being so by the time you get to your school year, you're already older and faster and stronger than the kids. So you go play hockey, you're actually better equipped to do that than the regular kids who aren't. I want to try to crank the engine again. So this is the narwhal, and see, it's supposed to be it's just kind of like a sudden, so I'm gonna make that right there. So just kind of fix it up so it's all good. I'm working on a couple of people, actually. I do sculptures, right? I do custom make sculptures, and I can make people. And one of the things I'm working on, I finished one the other day, and we were able to deliver it, and it was such a wonderful time. I made a video last Sunday, right? And my wife and I went to Roosevelt Field Island, and it was great. It was a great time. But before that, we went and delivered the sculpture to a new friend of mine that we just made. And what we learned was that, these sculptures actually change people's lives. I mean, it's something about it. I mean, these are one of one, right? Every one of these that I make are like one of one. So if I make this and make it again, I make it side by side, each one is still one of one. It's like how God makes everything. I'm not saying I'm God or anything, but I'm saying God makes everything, and He makes it uniquely awesome, right? So here I'm making this narwhal. I'm giving this narwhal meat and depth and girth and width and all that stuff. And then, you can actually do it with people. So I'm making peoples like this, and they're making animals and stuff and pets. So, that's one of those things. So it's just one of those things. So I like it to solve a problem. Somebody said that, I've been thinking of writing a story. I have the story in my head. I can't tell you about it yet, but it's just it kind of fits in a situation where, imagine if you're supposed to do something. Like the Bible talks about Jonah, right, in the Bible. Right, Scripture talks about Jonah. And Jonah, he was given an assignment. God says, I want you to go and tell these people to repent, right? To go tell these people in this place called Nineveh to repent. And Jonah was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do what he says. And so I'm going to go to as far the opposite direction as possible and go to a place called Tarshish. She wanted to go to Tarshish. She got in a boat, and as he on the boat, all the people's lives were jeopardized because he didn't want to do what God told him to do for whatever reason. Some people speculate that Jonah's family might have been killed or been ended by the Assyrians who lived in Nineveh, right? And they said that people are known notoriously for doing all kinds of wickedness, all manner of wickedness to people. And so what ended up happening was like maybe Jonah himself did not want to go to there because they had done something to his family, to maybe his parents or his friends or something, you know. And so instantly what happened was like when he did that, it was like one of the things where he didn't want to go. He said, I'm gonna let these people burn. I like God judged them, you know. And God was like, nah. You got to go and warn them. You got to go and tell people what's up. You got to go and be the one to warn them and to deliver them and to do what I tell you, because that's what God says. You know, if God tells you to build an ark, you better go build that dang ark, right? Because God says to go do it. God says, I want you to go and go tell people about me. You better do it, because God is the one who's telling you to do that, right? You got to go do what God says, because at the end of the day, He's the big boss. He's not just like, he's not just your friend at work or your boss at your job. Man, he's the one who made the universe. He gives you your next breath belongs to him, right? So when he tells you, I need you to go and tell that neighbor about me, and you go help that homeless person over there. You better get going and doing that, because God Almighty is doing that. So you have a situation with Jonah. Jonah was like, nah, God, I ain't doing that, right? He said, I'm gonna get on the boat. I'm gonna go far away, and God ain't gonna catch me. Well, so in the scenario with Jonah, he caused stress to the people around him. People around him got stressed. The people nearby him got stressed. No matter what he did, he got stressed. So then eventually, cast lots, and they found out that it was him. They would cast lots to their fake gods, and they found out it was him, right? And they're like, what are we gonna do? So they say he's asleep on the boat. Jonah was asleep on the boat, and he brought him up, and he said, okay, you know what? I didn't obey God. The boat was getting all rocky and stuff. I didn't obey God. I threw him into the water, and that's when a big fish came and ate them. Some people say it was a whale. I'm gonna say fish because I like the whole fish thing. Because you know what? A fish could eat you. A big old giant monster fish could come and eat you. It could be Leviathan. Well, big giant monster fish can come and eat you. And so what happens is, like in the scenario, Jonah was eaten by a fish, and he was in the belly of the fish for 3 days, right? That's what the Bible says. I mean, the Bible knows the difference between whales and fish, Anyway, so what happens is, like, God who made him would definitely know that. So you have this scenario and situation where it's like, here you are faced with this thing, right? And he's not wanting to do what he's supposed to do, but in the belly of the fish, he really learned to submit to God, Lord Most High. And what ended up happening was that as he's there submitting to God, and God's given him wisdom, he decides to do what God wants to do. Because he's getting digested like Boba Fett, getting digested like Boba Fett inside this fish belly. So if you're getting digested, right? You're getting digested. You're gonna eventually you're gonna lose like fingertips. You're gonna lose your toe. You're gonna lose your eyesight. You're gonna get bleached blonde. Not bleached blonde. You get bleached because you're getting digested by a fish. And I bet you that powerful organism living inside there. Not to mention things that are. I mean, that would be an awesome movie. They should make one of those movies. And all the graphics and stuff. They should do that. And how he's having a hard time to breathe. He had just enough air for him to breathe. Maybe it was a whale. I mean, just enough air for him to breathe. Because fish are straight through air. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? I mean, just think about that. You're inside of a fish's belly, and you have to like fight for air, and you want to die, but God's like, nah, you ain't dying, bruh. You ain't dying. You're gonna accomplish the mission I'm giving you. And so finally, he said, all right, God, I'll do it. I'll do the mission. So he went ahead and did it, and the fish spit him out. The fish spit him out on the seashores of Nineveh. So he went out there. Fish even traveled him, got free travel. Travel by fish. Yeah. Anyway, so what happened? He got there. And when he got there, it was one of those things where, it's like, he had to go and do what he said. And God warned him. He said, go talk to the people, go do this. And he went and talked to the people. And as he was talking to the people, he had the thing where, they repented. They actually listened. They actually listened to him. And they did what he said to do. And he went on top of the hill. Jonah went on top of the hill, the Bible says. And he was sitting there, and the sun was striking him. And he was all mad about the sun striking him, so God provided like a little shade for him, like a little a tree shade. And then he was happy about the tree shade. And then after that, he was waiting for the city to get destroyed. But what happened was, like, the city didn't get destroyed. God actually provided for them. God actually provided for them, and they repented and they turned their hearts to God. And he was mad. Most prophets go into places and they don't have a chance. They go there and nothing happens. But he went there and he told them the situation. He told them the scenario. And when he told them the scenario, what happened was, they listened and they repented. They turned their hearts toward God. They put sackcloth and ashes on even the animals. They were totally willing to listen, totally willing to obey. And Jonah was mad. He wanted them to die. Imagine being a prophet. You want your people that you're talking to, warn them to die. I mean, that shows you Jonah was not a bad dude, but maybe. So, but he didn't want to do what God wanted him to do. And because of that, there was struggles for the people on the boat. There was struggle. People almost got destroyed by God's wrath. And he warned them, and they actually surrendered, and they gave their heart to him. That's one of those things. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, man, God, you're awesome. God, sometimes I wonder, like, maybe God has another plan for me that I shouldn't be where I am. I should be doing something else. I thought maybe it was ministry. When I was a younger, I thought maybe I'd go into like people medicine and stuff. And I was gonna do that, and I just never got around to it. I just I went to ministry, and as I was in ministry, I was one of those things where I got involved in a street preaching ministry, and I tried to raise support for that and didn't quite work out. And then we started working with a local church, and I kind of mentioned these things throughout the previous videos and stuff. And one of the things I just find out is just like it's just sometimes you just God directs you where you want to go, but then when God tells you to do something, you have to do it. It's like, remember Noah. There was a movie called there's what's this, I forget, is it Evan Almighty, where with Steve Carell, and he had to build an ark, right, in his neighborhood. He had to build an ark. And so when he's building the ark, it's one of those things where, they did a local flood thing. They did a local ark flood, and they had a thing where God helped them, and Morgan Freeman was God, and all that. Try to be God. Morgan Freeman is like a Mason, but a Mason Illuminati dude. But anyway, for the most part, though, you have that, right? So you have this scenario. And what happens is, like, you are faced with the thing where, God told him to do it. He said, go build this ark, and he had to do it. I mean, that's just it. God tells you to do something. Like I think about Adam and Eve, right? Adam and Eve, I think about this a lot. If you look at the scriptures, God told Adam not to eat from the tree, right? Don't eat from the tree. They eat from the tree, you're going to die. Then afterwards, the Bible said he created Eve. He knocks Adam out in the head. Boop. Adam goes into a deep sleep. They said never came out of it. Never came out of deep sleep. And then you have a thing where it's like, you're faced with that. Hello. Hi, Amelia. And so what happens is that, you have a thing where God warns them, and God warns Adam, but he didn't warn Eve, So it was Adam's job to tell Eve. And it was Adam's situation where him warning Eve was like, his thing. But if you notice in scripture, when she bit into the fruit, nothing happened. But when Adam bit into the fruit, both their eyes were open. It was almost like, he was a representative, on earth. I mean, that's saying that there's difference between, like, the difference that are significant. It's just saying that there was a responsibility, a chain of responsibility given. And because he did that, he opened up both of them to struggle. So because both of them went to struggle, now here we are in a situation, right? So it's always been like that. There's always a thing where you're supposed to do what God tells you to do, and God says don't do it. So, Adam didn't go up to the tree and ate from it. No, he didn't do that. What ended up happening was that, the serpent came, deceived Eve, and Eve took of the tree, and then nothing happened when she ate it. Nothing. You look it up. Nothing happened. What happened was, like, when he ate from the tree, is when both their eyes were open, and they saw they were butt naked. And that's another question too, right? Because when you think about it, they were married. They were already married, and you don't hide yourself from your wife. You don't hide yourself from and a wife don't hide herself from her husband. Even the cultures that cover their wives and stuff like that, they know that. You don't hide from your spouse. So what happens is that they weren't hiding from each other. They weren't hiding from each other, and there's nobody else on the earth at the time. They were hiding from the Most High, and you can't hide from the Most High. As a matter of fact, I said it once to a friend of mine that if God was to hit you with a bolt of lightning, right, just come and strike you, he would get you. No matter where you are in the building. You could be in the basement of the building and going to hit you with a bolt of lightning. You're going to get hit, right? And if you get hit by lightning, that means God was going to get you. And if you didn't die after getting hit by lightning, that means God has something he wants for you to do. Because, a bolt of lightning is an exact science. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's like the 1.21 gigawatts, right? The Back to the Future movie. They didn't know where a lightning bolt's going to strike at the exact same time, the 1.21 gigawatts. They didn't know where that was going to strike. No, they did not. What they did know was that, they knew from the past where it was going to hit. And, even with the fact that Homeboy went back in time, like, the whole thing, they'd be alternate reality. So they still wouldn't know what time that was going to happen. I mean, if you think about it. But certain events have to happen in order for him to go to the future, in order for him to come back to the future so he can go back to the future from being back in the past. The whole paradox thing, whatever. Long story short, what happens is this, right? Sometimes you're supposed to do something and you just don't know what to do. But when you know what to do, you have to do it, okay? You have to do it. Like, for example, God wants us to tell each other to be kind one to another, to love each other. Because we're all made in the image of God. Right? We're all created by God in his image for his glory. So that's what happens. We're all made for his glory and for his image. And we all bear the mark of the Most High. All of us. Every single one of us. Even the bum in the street, even the person who was homeless, the person who's your worst enemy, they all bear the image of God and therefore worthy of respect. My wife and I, we were watching this the show Naked and Afraid yesterday, right? Because I was working on a situation. I can't even tell you the details about that too much, but I could tell you the details of, like, we were watching Naked and Afraid, and in one of the episodes, we were watching a situation where, they were the people were like kind of upset about what was going on. There was a situation where they were upset about one person, and one person was not doing what they needed to do, and so it's like you could feel the vitriol, you can feel the frustration and the anger they had towards this other individual, and it was like my wife and I were sitting there talking, and says, how do you get people to change? You can't get people to change by being a meanie to them and by forcing them and by all these things. You got people to change by them, by them wanting to, right? So this here, my friend, is a narwhal. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a little person on the back. Why? Because why not? Right? I got a couple of minutes left. I always kind of do like a 1 hour type thing and see how long it takes for the tow truck to come in. So I'm going to put like a little person on the back of this. Let's make a little person, shall we? Make a little tiny person, because you know what? I keep making these big people, and it's like, there's no need for all that. Let's make a small little itty bitty person that could ride on the back, And yes, probably make it a little lady, because you know what? It's always more fun to make ladies than to make guys, because people like ladies. I don't know, for some reason nobody likes guys. That's messed up, right? But anyway, for the most part, it says, "Hey, Megamind." It says, "Hi, how you doing, Megamind?" I say hi back to you. My friends, I thank you so much for for your support, for just watching my video. Again, please, everybody who's here, can you please just like and follow my channel. My wife and kids and I, we're all having a contest trying to see who can get like our numbers up. And so far, I already got monetized, but I want to get my wife and kids and everybody to get monetization as well. Because monetization is one of those things where, you get a chance to to do residual work. You do want to work, you do it, you sure, and then you get a chance to bless people. Not to mention legacy. I was thinking about how awesome it is. Like 100 years from now, somebody's going to be able to find this video, and they're going to be like, wow, who's that Greg character? Who was he about? What was his family like? Oh, look, he's wearing a shirt with his family on it. That's so cool. These are my wife, my kids. And so this is my big kids. This is my kids. And so my wife, she's not on the shirt because this one says, "You can't scare me. I have 4 children." So that's what happens, So here I'm making this little person, and the little person. I should probably impale him, right? Impale him right through the head. Let's do that. Right through the head with this thing. Okay, let's do that. This is right through. Boom. Right through his. Oh, he got impaled right through his head by the narwhal. Folks, this is too graphic for TV. As you can see, he got right through the head. Let's keep working on that, because I think this can actually do something. Thank you for liking, by the way. I really appreciate that. This is everybody gives me a thumbs up. That'd be great. Just go and just thumbs up real quick. So anyway, the situation is we got 47 minutes. And I am just like really just again happy to be able to do this art, because it's like so much fun. You can make anything, people, animal, creatures. And you can make a narwhal impaling someone in the head. There's so many. I'm gonna try the car again. Let's try the car again. If I get the car to work before, it's like maybe just need to sit for a little bit. Let's just try the car. Okay, let's turn the car. This is me trying the car again one more time, right? This is me waiting for the tow truck. You ready? Ooh, it hurts. Ready? 1, 2, 3. She's not starting. Okay, she's not starting. Okay, that's it. You heard it. You heard it yourself. Okay, that was like a long time before the last try, and it's not starting. The narwhal, see that? See, if this happened to Jonah, Jonah would just be like dead. He'd be like a narwhal stuck in his head, and so he'd be dead. So I'm thinking this, right? I'm convinced that, again, he was actually one of the weird prophets in the Bible that actually had a situation where he had success. Most times the prophets in the scriptures don't have success. They don't have a good time. They don't have opportunity. They don't have the thing where people actually reach out and do what they're supposed to do and seek God. And then you have this guy here, Jonah's going and doing this thing, and he's just like, it's like I'm in a narwhal with a narwhal stabbing a guy in the head. See, this is this kind of thing, we look for when we go on YouTube. This is the kind of thing where you have like a person who's like, "Hello, everybody. Hello, narwhal," and oh, right through the head. He's got him right through the head. What's wrong with the car? Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, I will tell you what's wrong with the car. Real quick, I've been, long story short, what has happened to my car is that I think that the fuel pump has finally malfunctioned. I've been having trouble with my gas indicator in my car, and then somebody said that could be a fuel pump thing. I kind of, I don't know what's the situation there, but for the most part, though, you have it where I'm thinking that could be where it is, because when I try to crank it, which I'm going to crank it again in a few seconds, just to let you see that it's like, if this car can get to work, I'm going to drive it home, all right, and then take it to a shop locally. If I can't, I'm going to have to leave it here. I have to get home. I have to go get ready to go to work. But so there's a narwhal with a human on his nose. So imagine you have a human stuck on your nose, or actually on your teeth. This is not your nose, but actually it's one of your tooths. This is just terrible. Okay, so anyway, so what happened to my car? I think my car, what has happened to my car is that it's like, you know, it's like what happened to my car? I think what happened is that the it's not giving the fuel line is not giving any fuel to the engine because everything else is working. Give it a try. Let's give it a try. Thank you all for liking my stuff. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to load the windows real quick. See, the engine works, the batteries work, right? The horn works. Watch if I press on. It works right there. Right there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try and crank it again. I'm gonna turn it so you can see me crank it one more time. All right, I'm gonna try and crank it again. So this hurts the hand, you know. Here we go. So crank it. 1, 2, 3. She's not turning over. Okay, so that's it. That's it. I keep trying. You know, I keep thinking about a Speed Racer thing. You know how Speed Racer, he was like one of the things where he was trying to get the car started after the Grand Prix one in the Speed Racer with Emil Hirsch, the actor, when he was doing the Speed Racer thing. So anyway, I thought maybe if I put it into third gear and try and start it then, and I can't really do that. Try and put it in second gear or first gear. You know, it might. I haven't tried to put it in neutral yet. Let's try that. Let's try to put it in neutral. Put this jammy in neutral. All right, gonna put it there. Put the jammy in neutral. Okay, I have a neutral. So I can start it up in neutral. I can't really turn the thing. Nope, can't start her in neutral either. Okay, so can't start her in neutral. Can't start her in park. Put her back in park. Right. Make sure she's in park. Wouldn't that be a bummer? I put the car and I forgot to put it back out of the neutral. What gear am I in? Okay, I'm in park. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm in park. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm done trying. Okay, I have to give up. It says Vago. Okay, that means to go. Black JC. So what happens is that, right? I put this narwhal stabbing a person because you know he's looking over a boat, stabbed right in the head. Right in the head with narwhal's tusk, which I'm marked narwhal's tooth because elephants tusk, right? Are their teeth? Are the tusks teeth? They're teeth, right? So narwhal's tusk, same thing. Okay. So my friends, I'm looking for the tape, and tape's right here in front of me. Hold on to Dilly. Okay, Dilly, what should we do? What should we do, Dilly? Just like, okay, that's what we shouldn't look at an amphibian in the eye. Some people saying that the diplocollists are not really amphibian. It's been a long day. It's been too long. Folks, okay, let me tell you. So I was saying before about that. So you have these things where, you know, God honors those who honor him. And that's one of the things that was cool about him. He does that. If you're willing to, like, give a minute and say, you know what, you know, just respects to him, he'll respect you. And I don't know what to do. I'm about to go for a walk. Take you guys for a walk. I mean, I can't walk and make tape at the same time. It's not yet, but it's like pretty much my car. It's not leaking any fluid. It's not like, you know, I got the check engine light off, right? That's good. Gonna take it for inspection. Just gonna take this sucker for inspection. You know what happens? You know what happens? I'm sorry. It's a sad reality, you know. It's like the dogs be talking. The dog is like rubbing its butt on the ground. That dog over there. Dogs are interesting creatures, you know. I don't know. I mean, I have a lizard for a pet, and you know, I also have like a diplocollis. I have a dilly. I think his tongue came out. Just kind of like he's like. So he's got that whole thing with the tongue, and this is like cool thing when you make master tape art. You can actually just do is just chuck it, and then it maintains it. I don't know, man. I'm just like. Okay, so this is what my plan is going to be. I have to go, waiting for the tow truck to come. I'm going to go back inside the house and kind of wait for him inside. And watch, as soon as I go inside, the tow truck is going to come. You know that, right? But anyway, in the meantime, what's wrong with the car? Just to give you a summation. The fuel line is not giving fuel to the engine. The engine doesn't get fuel, the engine won't turn over. Engine won't turn over, we can't get the car to go. Car won't go, we are stuck. So the only option is that to take this car, tow it to a workshop, and see if that it can get it to work. Then from there, we're gonna have to like come back another day, take the bus, take the train, you know, and get this car functional. The other thing is that you know, I have to be able to see if I can make it. Hopefully, I can make it in time to get to where I need to go to. See these tow trucks? You see these tow trucks right here? Unless your car is parked by a hydrant or something like that, or on the highway, they're not coming to you right away. They might just take forever. So it's been like 54 minutes, and there's no tow truck yet. One thing about the job I like is I get a chance to pull my hair back. And when I pull my hair back, it's actually get to have it like, much better in terms of like just how it works. I just brush it back, and I put my hair back, and it's really cool. Yeah, I have this right here is a narwhal with a human stuck on his tusk. So that's how I'm feeling right now, by the way. I'm feeling kind of that way. Like I'm being spearheaded by a problem right through the brain, But anyway, so that's that. So I'm putting my hair back on. Folks, I just want to thank you so much for watching with me. I have made a narwhal, and I've explained my point about when God asks you to do something. So I'm going to take this opportunity right now to say I want to thank you so much for everybody who's given me a super chat in the past. Thank you. I want to also thank you for giving me a thumbs up. I appreciate that too. And my next show will be next Thursday, Lord willing. But between now and then, I hope a lot of things to happen. I get my first paycheck tomorrow for my new job, so we're going to see how that goes. First full paycheck. And we'll see how that goes. Also, we're going to have to go to work and see how that works, with a different new schedule. And then I have to make it to Saturday. So see how that goes, because Saturday is an art event. And I like doing art events, and art events are great. And so I was making a little guy here, little Diplocalus here. He has no mouth or anything like that, but I was sitting there with my friends, and we're talking and listening to a story. And I was able to spit this out. It doesn't take me long to spit out these creatures. It takes me long to get to this level, when these guys are like painted and eyeballs and deli. Like, yep, he's pretty cool. Anyway, so I just want to say thank you so much. I'm going to probably end it quick here. And I want to say thank you so much for watching my channel. And God bless you. And until we meet again, you be safe. You keep trusting the Lord, because what happens is this, right? The greatest thing you can do is trust God. Greatest thing. Trust God, trust the Lord Jesus, right? First for salvation, and second to help us become godly and live the right life here on earth. Because what happened was his intention was to bring the kingdom to earth. And a kingdom was to, that we live through us, and make this world a better place. And there's a lot of people who don't want to make this world a better place. They want to kind of keep the way it is. But, how we make it better is that we do the best thing for society, for mankind, and for our children. So, yeah, I get my car working. I'll let you know how that goes. You'll see me driving it. Get that bread, So, God bless you. I'll talk to you soon. And see you guys later. Thank you for all the thumbs up in the chat. So, yeah. Soon the tow truck will be here, but I'm going to go inside and go relax for a little bit and figure out what I'm going to do. Figure out how to get home. All right, so God bless you. Love you guys. Please see me again and follow me. Patreon.com, Patreon, One Life Must Art. Instagram, One Life Must Art. Patreon, One Life Must Art. Instagram, One Life Must Art. Follow me there. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you, and God bless you. All right, bye. Peace.